A single knife, a dark drain, and 5 strangers breathing the same stale air as an unseen eye watches their humanity unravel. This is the world of the 2009 psychological horror, Hunger. We awaken with Jordan in a lightless concrete room, the sting of iron on her tongue. There are 4 others: Luke, whose volatility is a lit fuse; Grant, a man worn down by weary pragmatism; and 2 other survivors, their silence a heavy shroud. Their captor is never seen, a nameless watcher who studies them like specimens under glass. As the days bleed into one another without food, the film's camera holds a steady, unflinching gaze, documenting how morality is redrawn one agonizing choice at a time. The plot moves in calculated, brutal steps, from the discovery of a scalpel hidden in a shirt to a sudden blackout following a devastating betrayal. The realism is suffocating. The actors' performances sell the decay with haunting authenticity: dry, cracked lips, slowed speech, and a tremor in every handshake. This was achieved through rigorous training in breath and stillness, not theatrics. Practical effects charted their decline, with glycerin mimicking sweat and careful makeup deepening the hollows of their ribs day by day. Every prop feels used and worn, sanded and stained to look like a relic from a previous failed experiment. Small, chilling Easter eggs reinforce this fear: scuffed tally marks on a hidden wall, a child's button in the dust, and mismatched bolts on a panel hint that this is not the first group to be tested. The film's genius lies in what it withholds. Deleted scenes containing stronger gore and a more detailed backstory for the watcher were deliberately cut. The director chose pacing over shock value, tightening the psychological screws instead of leaning on visceral horror, a decision that also secured a less restrictive rating.
The soundtrack is a masterpiece of minimalism, replacing melody with sparse drones, metallic echoes, and long, suffocating stretches of silence. In this room, the low hum of a vent or the clatter of a single tin cup is more terrifying than any scream. Among the film's most powerful moments, 5 stand out. First, the ration vote, a scene that should unite the captives, but instead splinters them, revealing the dark calculus of survival. Second, Jordan scraping rust from the drain for sustenance, a primal and desperate act. Third, the discovery of the scalpel, which instantly transforms the atmosphere from one of passive suffering to active threat. Fourth, the unforgettable moment the camera lens is smeared with a bloody rag, turning the one-way observation into a 2-way confrontation. And finally, the ending, a cold, hard stare directly into the camera that makes the audience a final complicit participant. Production was as disciplined as the experiment itself. A lean budget forced the crew to work within a single claustrophobic set, with movable walls to hide lighting. They drilled for operating in darkness and used safe words to protect the cast, whose physical endurance was carefully monitored. Early test audiences often ended screenings in an uneasy silence, shaken by the film's raw intensity. This word-of-mouth buzz, born from genuine dread, propelled the film beyond its modest budget. The ending lands its final blow by turning the camera and the question back on us. The experiment, we realize, requires an observer to be complete. In an age of constant surveillance and staged survival entertainment, the film's hidden meaning feels more relevant than ever. It suggests that the most monstrous act isn't the suffering, but the watching. Hunger does not create monsters. It simply reveals them. For its unflinching execution and chilling message, it earns a score of 80 out of 100.